Welcome back to Myth Machines. On today's episode, we're again working on my Cougar here in the back. Today we're going to be working on, I gotta get my tire off. And I gotta get all of the suspension off. So nothing extra there causing weight or anything. So, the thing is, I gotta get my tire off here, which unfortunately when I was shooting off the impact, I had a few get stuck. Didn't want to come off very well. And unfortunately, this one completely gave out in the back, so it just spins. I can't spin it by hand, but it spins by impact, so I have to cut it off. So let's do that. Alright, so you saw the corner here. I've moved the jack stands back in the back because I don't want any weight in the front. So this is all suspended. The nut is off. So, got the tire off. Next I gotta get all this off. And you see here my drum's broken. That's because when I first got this car, we had to take all the wheels off and break the drums free. See, all we had were hammers, so we had to beat it off with hammers. And that's why it's all whacked the shit out of. Well, I guess this one got put on a little too tight and it got put back on, so it... And same with this one. So I had to break those ones off. This one broke off, I had to cut this one off. I think I gotta do the same to my one in the back there. I don't know if I tried to take that tire off yet. But with that, I'm going to take off my steering. I'm going to try and take everything else off one big piece. Probably not this piece here, because I don't know how easy it's going to come off like the back side there. But I'm going to try and take all my A-arm and everything off down once. And not really an A-arm, is it? Upper is. But that's just going to be unbolting stuff. So let's get to it. And then I doused everything down. I'm going to be taking off with brush printer and a W40, whatever I had, in order to get it all off. So hopefully it comes off pretty easily. See, those rubbers are shot. So in this clip, I'm going to try to jack up just the A-arm, so I could get that off. But unfortunately, since there's no weight in the vehicle, it just lifts up the whole vehicle. You see it push down, and the spring compresses. So it's fully set on the spring. So I can't do that to jack it up, compress the spring down, because there's no weight in the front in order to get that spring out. So I'm going to take that out a different way, which is a lot more dangerous and you're not supposed to do, but it's what I had to do because I don't have a spring compressor or anything of that nature. So I'll show you how I do that later on. First, I'm going to unbolt everything else on the arms and get everything else off. So my my camera overheated, so I turned off as I was filming. The only thing you missed is that I shot out the bolt for my steering stabilizer, so I get that off. Took out my stabilization bar, and I got everything else unbolted. Now this is definitely not the correct way to pull this thing off, but I'm trying to take it out in one piece. Okay, as I said before, this is definitely not the correct way of doing this. You should always use the proper tool, especially when you're dealing with springs like these. They do have a tendency to launch at you and knock you out, possibly even kill you. So again, it's not the correct way of doing, but what am I doing is I am using my pry bar to pry up on the shock, and then there's a bracket that goes through the top of the shock that I'm pushing out, or my brother's pushing out with the air hammer. You see that, and that allows it to travel down because it was getting caught up on because that was holding the spring and the A-arm up. Now you see, I stepped over to the left side there, out of the direct path of the spring, but just in case it did launch out, but it didn't. It's still caught on the two studs that are in the A-arms. So after that, I'm going to knock the studs out a little bit, and I'm going to use the air hammer to push them out the rest of the way. And then you'll see it'll fall down and be completely free. And that's how I get the spring out. And that's the improper way of pulling that out. Because I couldn't compress it because there's no weight to push it down.
Oh yeah, you tried jacking it out and it just lifted it up on it.
Alright, so this will be a short video taking out the suspension and cutting off that wheel. I still got to shoot this off, but that's just a nut in the back, so I just got to shoot my staving stabilizer here off. But that's just a nut in the back, and I'll be real quick. Then yeah, then I'm ready to get back and do my Brush repairing the frame rail, but that'll be the next video. I don't think I'm just going to do this as a suspension video now. With the improper way of pulling out a spring. Alrighty. Alright, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and always, if you'd be so kind to like, comment, subscribe. On to the next one, and see you later.